Yes, welcome to the Trump Republican Party Freak Show Caucus.
It's the journalists and the Democrats spinning the lies.
Donald Trump is dangerous, and Donald Trump is also stupid.
For Democrats, the rules don't apply to them.
Republicans all have to robotically repeat Trump's toxic wingnut bullpucky stew.
How dumb are these people? Well, they assume that everybody else is just like them.
I am Tyler. I am 31 years old.
My name is Jack Bowman. I'm 86 years old.
Where do you think the country's heading?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about politics. I try to follow it, but honestly, I mean, I'm a working class citizen. I'm just trying to survive, you know, so I just constantly hear bad things on the news all the time. And so it's really like disheartening to watch.
The country right now is a perfect storm hit us. We hit all the controversy on the president, Mr. Trump, and then you throw the pandemic in. It's just changed the attitude of people. Part of it, we've never been so evenly split. It's almost, now you got to win the game. It's one side against the other, and it's black or white.
I voted for Obama when I turned 18 for his second term, and been really bad about voting. I didn't vote for Hillary, and I didn't vote for Trump because I didn't like either of them.
And Jack, what do you think your county votes? Percentage Republican, percentage Democrat?
Oh, we're a big time Republican.
Like 70, 80?
You'd have to go down the street quite a ways to find anybody that voted for Biden.
Okay. What's your feeling about Biden?
I feel like the church should be separate from democracy. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with having faith. I just think that when you try to impose it on other people, that's when it becomes a problem, and that's when it becomes toxic.
I think 70% of the people in the United States favor banning abortion. The federal government should get out of it and let the states do what they want to do.
I think that you should have a time period of longer than 6 weeks to be able to make that decision. I don't want to say she should carry her baby to half term and then abort it, but I mean, there should be like a grace period. I think Jack's right in the sense where I think it should probably just be like a state to state kind of, I mean, but also a lot of people don't have the resources to be able to go out of state and get an abortion too. So I mean, that's also kind of a tricky dilemma to have.
I've been a farmer outdoors all my life. I've seen the big storms come and the big winds come. In my opinion, it gives a statement, but there's only one person can change that. I respect his opinion for it, and I expect people that think they can do it, but it's got to be somebody besides the United States that's doing it.
Yeah, I do believe in God as well. You know, it's kind of interesting too because I'm a gay man. But I've always believed in God, and I think that, you know, with knowledge comes responsibility. And I think we all brains, you know, we can think critically, and we can solve problems, and we can come together.
One thing Tyler mentioned is, as a gay man, is he accepted?
No, we don't think anything about it.
Just non-issue.
I've had gays in my family. I mean, I don't even, why even talk about it? Just, you're you and I'm me, and what the heck?
I think it's a little deeper than that too. There's a lot of kids who are gay who don't have access to resources, who don't have the proper support system in their lives to feel safe and feel like they can be themselves. And it is a problem. And I think you're a heterosexual male, and I mean,
He hasn't told you that.
well, but what I'm saying,
I wouldn't ask him what he is. Why should I?
yeah, no, but I think what I'm saying is of course it wouldn't affect you because you're not gay, and so.
What do you think about gay marriage
Well, I got a gay marriage in my family too.
in your family? Okay.
Yeah,
I got one of those in my family too.
me too. Yep.
In your actual extended family.
I have a sister. I have a trans sister.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
My
And
niece had a boy, and he turned into a girl. You can't say Democrats against gays or the Republicans are against gays or whatever. I don't know. It's such an individual thing.
what about this issue that became a big deal 4 years ago with North Carolina law about bathroom usage and
Well, I used to think I go in the airport and there's stalls for people to use. Men have all stalls. And I think, why don't the high schools do that?
what about like sharing a shower, a group shower, right? So you have like a bunch of 13-year-old girls sharing a shower, and then you have
I think that's different for me because I think that when you're that age, there is a level of innocence that comes with being that age, and if you're a trans woman, and you haven't gotten a sex change, I mean, you're walking into a woman's bathroom with male genitalia, you're going to confuse a lot of people who don't understand your experience as a trans person.
So you both would agree that if it's a hot tub, like in a spa, that's over the line. That needs to be prevented.
I feel like anything we say, somebody's going to get upset, but I mean, I think we're all generally speaking in pretty realistic terms.
Probably done a lot of things wrong, but 500,000 people died supposedly to unite the country and free slaves. And we've tried to do better. There's been a lot of mistakes up the line, but I think we kind of keep trying to do better. It's really hard for me to comment on a life like African Americans lead or any of that. It would be tough.
What would be your worry about what you think the left wants to teach in schools about race? Do you worry that the teaching is going to be directed in a way that tries to shame like white kids?
Yeah, it's doing that. It's already done that. It's done a good job of that already.
In schools or just in society generally?
Well, on down. I think it started, how many times do you see it on TV where a grown man apologizes for being white and privileged white? The general in the army apologized for being white. And, and school kids down here, they see that stuff. And actually seeing clips of it on there that little white kids saying, well, I'm privileged. My dad grew up on a sod hut with a dirt floor in it.
Okay, right.
I don't think I'm white privileged. We are who we are. And we shouldn't have to apologize for anything.
I understand where you're coming from. I don't think we should be sorry for who we are. We can't change who we are, obviously.
Why is it harder to be black, in your opinion?
Well, I grew up with a lot of black people. My school was predominantly black and Latino. A lot of my friends are black, and I will say that there are a lot more challenges in being black in America than it is being white.
Like, what would an example be?
They get pulled over by the cops just for walking down the street. There's still, I don't care what you say, there's still a lot of closeted racism. You don't truly know half of the people you work with. I mean, you go to work every day, you interact with these people, but these people only choose to tell you what they want you to know about them.
When you hear that, if you had a black grandchild or something, would he have to be more worried about getting pulled over by the police or people secretly wishing him ill because he was black, or do you not see that in your life?
I don't see that in my life, but I don't know.
But but Tyler's saying from his experience and his friends
Yeah,
growing up
he's
here,
in a completely different experience than mine.
do you think there could be useful conversations between people who have more Tyler's experience with here's how it feels to be black in a city or whatever, and people like you who are in a much more almost all white town? Do you think there's anything to learn from each other?
I've got a son that's a police officer in Arapahoe County, Denver. And black culture, or whatever you want to say, the way they grew up, and are there time from their little kids, are they told not to trust a policeman?
I mean, I'm not black. I don't.
No, but
I definitely don't live a black
conversation
experience.
with them.
There's a lot of corrupt people in power, and you just don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, I do believe that there's a lot of cops out there who do want to do good and do want to support the communities too. Like, I definitely believe that, but I also believe that people like to abuse power. People are greedy, and I can understand why black parents teach their kids to be wary of the police, because maybe statistically, black people are, I really don't know, like 10 times more likely to get wrongfully arrested or hurt during that whole process than a white person.
What do you think? What would your guess be?
The number is surprisingly low of black people that are killed by the police.
What do you think the number is per year of unarmed?
I think it's in the double digits somewhere. It's just,
I think
and
that,
in the whites, it gets way higher than that. And the policemen also, the number of policemen that are killed in a year are huge. And when they talk about lots of children being killed, all you got to do is look at Chicago's, and every week. And it's not white on black, it's black on black.
What do you think when you hear that?
I mean, everybody has their own opinion. I'm not like here to like put my wrath on you, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what we're here to do, but I think what we're here to do is to spread awareness and educate each other about like what's really going on. And I mean, I definitely can learn a lot from you. You've been here a lot longer than me. You've seen a lot more.
Well, I don't mean
more
to be
stuff.
stepping on your toes or anything,
But no,
that's what
you're not stepping on toes at all. I think that you being, a white man, haven't had to endure some of the struggles that other people have. So I mean, like, it's like you wouldn't know it unless it's happened to you. You know what I mean? You just wouldn't know.
The next time I come back here,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to, you and I get a cup of coffee,
I would love to.
and you tell me about your growing up, because you're so far removed. From what I grew up as, it's hard to.
Yeah, I would love to have a
and I
cup of
would-
coffee with you.
and
Absolutely.
Tell me about your growing up.
Me, I was put into foster care at 12
Wow.
for like a year, and then I lived in group homes from like the age of 12 till I was about 19. And so when my mom wasn't around, I was raised by black women in these facilities. So, and I grew up around a lot of black kids, and I grew up around a lot of Latinos as well.
I think it's interesting that you guys both said, "Oh, I think I'm kind of curious about your experience. I'm kind of curious about yours," and obviously, how you grow up, what you see when you grow up, where your friends are.
It's so different between the two of us.
Yeah.
I was so lucky,
Mhm.
and your world is so different than mine. I grew
I'm
up
lucky
in.
though too. I think we're both lucky. We just had different circumstances, and
Yeah.
we've all have our shit, and we've all had to work through it, but we can all learn from each other. I actually kind of watch a little bit of everything. I'm not gonna lie. Fox News kind of irritates me just by the way like they talk, but
So, Jack, aside from your son Michael bringing the liberal perspective into the household, How often do you watch MSNBC?
Dead.
Jack, what would get you or your wife to watch MSNBC? Or read the New York Times?
Well, there used to be a lady come in to Shakers, that was a friend of Mike's. She always read the New York Times. She gave it to me. I've read it a couple of times.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she gave it to me and I used it to start my
No,
fire.
no, I actually read some of it. For you, I'll go home and watch it, and that's I'll watch
MSNBC?
Yeah.
For Michael.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate the conversation and the openness, and we talked about some tough topics, and it's the beginning of, I hope, a richer, longer national conversation where people who come from different perspectives.
We elect one man to run the whole United States. And how do you do that? All the people, look, you put two of us here together, and look at the difference. We're alike, yet we're not.
I don't think that.
And
I think two people can have two opposing set of beliefs, but I don't think that it always needs to turn into a fight.
yeah,
You know?
you don't have to dislike each other
Yeah.
over it or say, get out of here, you know?
Thank you again, guys.
All right,
Take
awesome.
care.